I'm Mr. B, and today we're diving even deeper into the quadratic formula. We're going to deal with the one or two curveballs that this type of topic can throw you. There's not many, these are the only main two. So here I have my quadratic, and the first curveball is that not all of my terms are on the same side of the equation. So I can't do my A, B, and C yet until I all get them to be on the same side. Here I see that negative 6x is on the wrong side, so I have to add 6x. And if I do it to one side, I do it to the other side here. When I add 6x here, notice how I'm going to put it in the middle there, because that's what's called descending order. It just makes my A, B, C the best. It cannot combine with the 3x squared because that has two x's. It cannot combine with the 6 because it does not have any x's. And the best way to put it is x squared x, then the number term, because that makes my A, B, C the easiest. Because we remember the A is the number in front of my x squared, B is the number in front of my x, C is the number at the end. Again, I keep the signs with it. These are all positive, so my signs all stay positive. I have my quadratic formula in the top right. All I do now is replace everywhere I see A, B, or C. I'm going to replace it with what my A, B, and C are. My first one, x equals negative b. My b is 6, plus or minus the square root of b squared, again, so that's 6 squared, minus 4. AC, my a is 3, and my c is 6. This is all divided by 2 times a, which my a is 3. Once I have it all written out, I'm going to deal with my square root first. 6 squared, that's 36. And then negative 4 times 3, that's negative 12. Negative 12 times 6, that's negative 72. So when I go to rewrite this, I rewrite it as x equals negative 6 plus or minus the square root. 6 squared is 36 minus 72. Since it was a negative, I kept the sign a negative. All this divided by 6. I can keep going. X equals negative 6 plus or minus the square root. 36 minus 72, that's negative 36. All divided by 6. Here's the second curveball. I got this negative in the square root, which I don't really like. I take it to the side, and I split it up to be square root 36 and square root negative 1. I have a separate video dealing just specifically with negative square roots if you want to see that. But for now, to deal with this negative square root, I split it up to be positive 36 and negative 1. And I call this negative 1 I. And I deal with 36 just the same. What's the square root of 36? That's just 6. So I can replace this negative 36 with 6i. Let's just zoom this out a bit. I'm left with x equals negative 6 plus or minus, instead of writing this, I can write this 6i, all divided by 6. Lastly, I really can't add 6 plus 6i. I don't know how to do that. So I can do this heart method, which is negative 6 divided by 6. X equals negative 1 plus or minus 6 divided by 6, that's 1 again. Let me rewrite that. Let me do this one more time. X equals negative 6 divided by 6, that's negative 1, plus or minus 6 divided by 6, that's 1. I don't even have to put it. I'm left with just the I. And my answer is negative 1 plus or minus I. And what that really means is this equation that we had at the beginning can't be solved, or it doesn't cross the x-axis. It most likely looks something like that, just above it. Cool. This other one I want to do really quickly is the exact same thing. My numbers are not all on the same side of the equation, so I have to move them before I do A, B, and C. To move over negative 8, I add 8. Add 8. Now, I write that 8 at the end of my equation. That way, it's x squared, x term number. That way, it makes my A, my B, and my C the easiest. My A is 2, B is 4, C is 8. Again, A is the number in front of the x squared, B is the number in front of the x, c is the number at the end. Make sure you keep the sign with it. X equals negative, I just followed my formula, negative b, so it's negative 4, plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4. Instead of a, I put 2. Instead of c, I put 8. All over 2 parentheses 2. All I did was went to my quadratic formula and I replaced every single a, b, c with my a, my b, and my c. Now I'm going to deal with the square root here. 4 squared, that's 16. Negative 4 times negative 2, that's negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 8, that's negative 64. So in my square root, I get x equals negative 4 plus or minus 4 squared was 16. Minus, I keep the sign of what it is. Since it's negative 64, I put minus 64, all divided by 4. I should really write smaller, that's okay. X equals negative 4 plus or minus 16 minus 64 is negative 48, all divided by 4. The square root of negative 48, I don't particularly like that. I take it to the side, and I split it up to be 48 and negative 1. I do that immediately. I split it off to be negative 1 and the positive version. This negative 1 just becomes an I. The square root of 48, that I can split off to be 16 and 3. And what's nice about the square root of 16 is that that is 4. So it's 4 square root 3. So now it becomes x equals negative 4 plus or minus, instead of the square root of negative 48, I'm going to put 4i radical 3. Notice how that I goes in between the two. 4i radical 3, all divided by 4. Lastly, I have to do this heart method. Negative 4 divided by 4, that's negative 1. Plus or minus 4 divided by 4, that's 1. I can't touch the I can't touch the radical 3, so it's 1i radical 3. Those are the really only two tricks they could throw at you. The square root being negative, and them not giving it to you in what's called general form, all equal to 0. And you have to moving it over yourself. Hope this helped.